Alrighty, so new Avenged Sevenfold. I am going to go through this album quickly, maybe not so quickly, and not necessarily review it, but I'm going to talk about why I really like it and go through the songs individually and talk about why I really dig, what I subjectively didn't dig about it, and I've got my guitar here just in case there's some music theory to dive into. I'll dive into it. So here we go. Game Over. I love this song. Game Over in A minor. Game Over straight away just reminds me of the best parts of Avenged Sevenfold, and it gets you ready for what you're in store for in this album, which is a pretty crazy, wild ride, but also shows you what they're best at, which is like really good melodic content with really interesting and functional chord changes. Everything feels like it's leading somewhere. And the melodies are all really memorable, and it's just a sick opening track. I love that song. It's not my favorite by any means on the album or anything like that, but it's a great opener. It's got a bit of thrash to it, but the melodic stuff and the chord changes are amazing. Mattel. Vinyl skin provides protection. The main melodic section in this is low energy, singing low, but the chord changes and the melody are so amazing, and they all have functional. They're moving somewhere in this really cool way. So something like this, probably not exactly right. It's so good. While boredom tears me apart at the seams. Now I know this. Now I know this might sound crazy, but I've smelled the plastic daisies, and it seems we've found us. So this song's in D minor. This part is so cool. The song's in D minor or F major, and you get this big minor 4 saying, well, I know this might sound crazy, but I smelled the daisies. But bum 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 bum. It's really nice. Nobody and We Love You. The singles are amazing. I'm going to skip through them because I've already done videos talking about those, and go to Cosmic. Fate is taken once again. The fight will never win. Time again we try. Bum ba ba dum ba da da ba dum. Really simple chord progression, but beautiful melody over it again. Then big tonal shift. And then this is vintage Avenged Sevenfold. Beautiful Morning. Cool song. One of my least favorite on here. Still really good. I really love the ending. I'm going to skip to the end of this one. I'll just say that I think it's a good song but something about it just didn't click with me. But the ending is very cool. The piano, the way they do that part on the piano. What key are we in there? That thing's really beautiful. And then that minor. There's this, that, the way they go from D major into G minor, but with the same melodic focus. It's beautiful. Yeah, so good. And it ends back on the D major because they go to the chord 5 in G minor. So good. Easier has some Pink Floyd-y vibes for me. And like nearly Faith No More or something as well. Again, even though this isn't my favorite song, the melody combined with the harmony is just really beautiful. Those moments are still my favorite. I think, if anything, the heavy moments for me on this album are the parts that let me down the most, even though they're not a full-on letdown. I just think my subjective feeling is if they were bigger and bolder, even in just the production, they would hit harder and make that juxtaposition between these beautiful moments and the heavier moments even better and bigger and more dramatic if they were produced bigger. But I understand why they didn't do that, and they've gone for a purposefully underproduced sound, a raw sound mixed with the electronic elements. But for me personally, subjectively, I would have liked those big metal moments to be bigger. But G, this is the one that just reminds me of a Dream Theater vibe. Friend of mine pointed out Rush as well. Rush, Dream Theater, prog, rock. If you haven't heard of a band called Closure in Moscow, they have an album called Pink Lemonade. And if you like G, you would love Pink Lemonade. They like the way the vocals are produced, and the vibe of it is very similar. Super cool song on this album. So it's probably not my favorite song, but it's really cool. Man, getting tripped when we walk. And it's just such a good ingredient on this record, even though it's not my favorite tune. Ordinary to me is like ordinary. It's good. Again, not my favorite tune. It reminds me of like Tame Impala mixed with Daft Punk, Get Lucky. Like they're just kind of doing that thing. And then we get these last two, Death and Life is But a Dream. Life is But a Dream I love. We'll get to that in a second. Let's dive into Death quickly.
I awake as daylight breaks and wash my face.
These two songs got me thinking as well while I was listening to them on the second listen is who played this stuff and how did they write it? Because especially Life is But a Dream, but both of them, the piano playing is incredible. And then did Matt write this? How did he write it? Did he write the chords? Did he write all of the parts and then give it to a piano player for him or her to play it? How did it come about? Because it's really amazing. The harmony's amazing. I'm sure they came up with the chords, but then even just some of the playing on it is insane. And just such a highlight, especially Life is But a Dream. It's the kind of album I would want to sit in a dark room and just chill out to. It's got a cinematic vibe to it. Again, first time listening to it, it felt like I was watching a movie, even though I'm listening to an album, which is such a cool thing. And I know it's going to annoy so many fans, and they could have done another thrash album or just a big rock and roll album, but that would have been really disappointing for me. And although this doesn't absolutely deliver on every little thing I personally want, that's a subjective thing. For me, it does give me this really cool thing to listen to. And I love the harmony and I love the melodies in it. I think it's an incredible album, while not fulfilling all of my hopes for it. But it's pretty close, and I think it's really great. Might just see if there's anything cool to talk about in Life is But a Dream, because I love that song. Oh yeah, nearly reminds me of Succession, like the theme, the chromatics and everything that are in this. That's what got me wondering about the piano part is, did, Matt just sit there and come up with these really cool chromatic passages over these beautiful chords, or did they get someone in who really kind of laid that stuff down? It's intriguing. Pretty standard, that one. That change at the end is pretty cool though. Let's figure that one out. Really? That actually makes sense. So that key change went from A minor, and then when they hit this flat 2 dominant chord, I changed them into E flat, diminish, 5 diminished, up to 6 in the key of B flat major. So, subjectively for me, this album, I think, is an absolute winner. And while there are things about it I would change slightly for me, or would just make more of an impact for me, I don't think it really takes away from the album. I just think it's an absolute awesome one. That's it for this video, and if you liked it at all, give us a like and a subscribe. That would be much appreciated, and hopefully I can keep making some more of these in the future. All right. Take it easy.